Welcome everyone. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. A little clearing. I have two Divine Masculine Twin Flame reads for you today. One is a quick one from last night. It's not long. And the second one is from this morning. This one's very cool today, so you have to listen. There's a lot of messages. There's actually a lot of personal messages that came through in this read today, so I would listen carefully because there's a lot of wordplay that came up in the read today, which made it very interesting and fun to do. But it is January 14th today, 2020. I mean, it's the 15th. Don't mind me. I'm very sleepy. I had to take my daughter to the airport. I had to get up at 4 o'clock this morning, so I only got about 3 hours sleep last night. So I'm a little bit punch drunk, but that's probably good because I won't get in my own way. It is the 15th, but this read that from last night was done on the 14th, and it was done at, I had cut the deck at 9:44, which is the Hermit and the Four of Cups, and I finished it at 10:05 to 6, which is the 5 of the Hierophant and the 6 of the Lovers. And the 10, of course, is the Wheel of Fortune. And then the one I did this morning, I'll get into next for the 15th. So the energy for today, since it's the 15th, is the 15 of the Devil, and the day adds up to the 20, which is Judgment. So we have Judgment and the Devil, which is some harsh energy. And definitely been feeling the stressed energy today. Ever since I went to take my daughter to the airport at 4 o'clock this morning, I was feeling my twins stressed in my face all day long. Plus, I don't know what that means. If you like. And I was feeling my daughter's stress as well. I feel them in different ways, but I wasn't feeling my son today because when my son comes through, he always makes me get really sweaty. So maybe that's a message for you guys too, to hone in on how you connect with different people, because you're not only going to feel your twin, you're going to feel your kids too. And kids are definitely a focus today as far as, needing to give them attention or spend time doing things with them. I was just doing a meditation for you guys, and I was getting some rebellious teenagers coming up right now, and they can even have to do with your kids or your twins' kids, but it could be your twins' kids focusing in some kind of way in the way they feel about the Divine Feminine as well. And then that can go both ways for the kids of the feminine to the masculine as well. There may be certain feelings of the kids coming up and directed with their intention toward the other twin. So maybe not purposely and maybe purposely, sending some negative energy your way. So just letting you know that was coming up here. I was also getting in the meditation I just did a beautiful single rose. I didn't know it was a rose at first because I was seeing the purple, magenta and violet were dancing between each other, and then it was one of those colors or a combination of those colors along with the green around it. And then I realized that the green became the leaves that wrapped around this beautiful violet magenta rose. And then the leaves were the emerald dancing around it. It was a very, very beautiful rose. So that was a nice sign. But just so you know, it's not just you if you're feeling some harsh energies. I know I'm very sleepy, and that's probably why I was feeling a little weepy today. I never quite cried today, but there were several times where I wanted to. And part of that is, yes, because I'm very tired, but part of that is the energy coming up today. So you guys might be feeling that as well. Last night, this read, we had four nines came up in this read. That rarely happens where I get 4 digits of anything. And it's 9s, which is the end of the cycle. I had 4 9s come up in the Divine Masculine read last night. We had the Higher Self, the Solar Deity, which is the Sun, Reflection, which is the Hermit, and then after the read, the Tower came up, which was upright last night. The one in front of you is the one from today, so we'll get into that in a minute. We had 2 cups, 2 swords, 3 wands, and 1 pentacle last night, which was pretty well evenly distributed, and we had 3 wands, which was the most of any energy. And so that had to do with busy, action, passion. And then the court cards were the King of Wands and the Page of Pentacles last night. I also had the Queen of Swords before the read. as well as the Nine of Pentacles, which can be the Sovereign, even though it's not a court card. In addition to the quadruple nines, we had 4 nines, we also had double 3s, and then a lesser sense, double 6s and double 7s. And the only other number that came up was 8, but just as a single digit. The code line was all about the Tower again. The Tower was a big deal last night. It was reversed this morning, but it was definitely in full power last night, whether it was sudden events, interruptions, explosions, eruptions, or epiphanies, whatever it was. It was a big deal last night, but it's definitely over this morning with the Tower. But the code line was about the 16 last night. It was the 7 and the 9, which is the Chariot and the Hermit, which equaled the 16. And the code line had no numerology cards on it last night. And again, lupus came up, ALS. So somebody may be dealing with lupus, or maybe just getting diagnosed with lupus. So that was coming up. That was the second time this week. And then the code line, even though there was no numerology card, was definitely about the 7 of Orbs, that risk card, the liar, cheater, thief card. But in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which is my main deck, it's more of a passing down of the downloads. And for me, anyway, it's just a card of inherent risk as opposed to the liar, cheater, thief, although that is under risk, right? So the focus was about this 7 of Orbs, taking a risk, a show of power, and the southeast winds were coming up, so high winds coming in from the southeast regarding something that's so risky around the Hermit or the collective consciousness or compassion and endings. And eels were also coming up, a show of power of the high southeast winds regarding so much risk for the Hermit, collective consciousness. And again, or just the wise one, but it could be regarding a feminine that may not be the divine feminine. It could be one of the karmics around the masculine, and that it can include a child as well. But I was getting a feminine, not a masculine. So either the masculine or someone in his family might have lupus, because was definitely coming up. A show of power of the sea, so the ocean, but also in seeing, using your eyes. The show of power of seeing, using your third eye, and the sea of those deep, deep emotions. Those higher emotions, because, right, the sea is very, very deep. And High Mar was coming up again, which is Jail Beach. And Sophia being centered, so the divine feminine collective being very centered, not necessarily doing the dance, but she is centered within the masculine and the feminine. And then the feminine within the masculine, or the Chariot, being all about thoughts and words. And the Hermit going within. Somebody may be taking certification tests as well. I was just getting that. Also, NISE was coming up in the code line, which had to do with nickel selenide. And then nickel came up big time, and I'll tell you that in a minute. That came up again this morning. I didn't realize it came up last night too. Nickel came up in the read this morning, and it was a big deal. So I'll get to that when I get to that read. But nickel selenide, also different informal science education companies, more. So instead of colleges, there's more online certification type companies coming up for your education. The National Institute for STEM Education, and the drug Semesalide. It's a veterinary NSAID that was coming up, as well as the National Institute of Solar Energy, so the sun, and using wind energy and solar energy coming up here. And so the show of power of the higher seas of Sophia in the higher realms being centered, and risks show of power of kneeling. So this is about the masculine humbling himself. And I was very fortunate to experience the Hindu tradition. One of my patients had asked me to come for the holidays a couple years in a row. So I got to spend time with their family when they went through their traditions at the holidays. And it's so beautiful. If it's, not part of your religion, where they the children come and kiss the parents' feet, and usually it's more casual where they kiss their hands and touch the father's feet. But it's such a beautiful ceremony when it's done in the true essence of what it meant, right? Because this is a man who was himself very humble and lovely person, and so to see the family, gather around the husband in that way and kiss their feet was such a beautiful thing. So if you haven't experienced something like that, it's something you might want to in the future. But anyway, that energy was coming up. So maybe the Hindu religion is specific to this reading regarding the kneeling. But here's where the masculine kneels down, shows their power by taking a risk of kneeling, of humbling themselves. To see the high seas when your emotions are very deep and explosive, that it's very risky to show those emotions for the masculine. And so the action of kneeling actually says so much in just that action when someone maybe can't find the words for what they want to say. The southeast higher, so there's hiring here too that came up in the code line. And then the Sophia's chariot, so the divine feminine collective consciousness. So again, this has to do with the divine feminine within the masculine, tapping into his own divine feminine to go into the etheric realms and coming into this half moon time between the full moon and the new moon, where it's more settled, which is a really 0 point kind of time, okay? So going into this read from last night, the higher self, the divine feminine, after powerless to synchronicities of the Queen of Swords reversed, and again, this is for the masculine, so it's the masculine within the feminine as well, and it's a general read, so if it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit, okay? So the higher self of the masculine, which is the divine feminine, after powerlessness to seeing synchronicities of the Queen of Swords reversed, which is the divine feminine very much in her sorrow, or it also could be someone around the masculine who can be very verbally abusive. Awakened to confession, dumping a load, the King of Wands without peace, in choppy waters. At work or noble place of co-creation, the Queen of Wands reversed is complete in their world, finished or come full circle, detoxing chaos, suffering in silence in order to manifest. Unhappy or mad at work with sealed divine feminine, detoxing codependencies, with the gate wide open to magician embodiment. And this was at 1046. 10, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 46 of the Six of Cups. Sorry, there's a lot of sage floating around here. I think it stopped burning. So nightmares of what have I done? The Capricorn out of control, purging and stressed out, and then suddenly putting all their cards out on the table. The magician and the higher self side by side. The movie theater may have closed, or bringing down the guillotine on the chains that bind. Let heads roll, walking on swords. If I'm going to burn in hell for who I am, I might as well do it in style. I found a cure. The power of the DNA strand, getting down on one knee. And then right there at this point, I was referred back to that article I told you about the other day. I don't know if it's yesterday or the day before. NeilHague.com. So if you want to look that up, Neil is the first name, Hague, Hague.com. Okay, and that had to do with Sophia and this artist, their creations about the energy that they've been getting through. But anyway, you can check it out if you'd like to. But the floodgates open to hell on wheels. The Knight of Pentacles out to be seen, loyal, humble servant, the King of Pentacles, and the High Priestess, the divine lovers. He knows this now. The hook in the iceberg, holding up train, and as I wrote that, the train whistle was whistling in the background in the distance. The King of Pentacles will never go back there again. A mess derailed from new love, and beneath that was playfulness. Third-party heartbreak pushed aside to play harp strings for someone else. A slow death of dark night, near-death experience, Grim fell off his white horse, not reaping, and the Eight of Wands reversed, not expressing or exchanging energy, delays in travel, and fast-paced communications or passions. The Page of Swords reversed is no truth to lean on. The DNA fell far from the tree when the whole tree fell. Swing and all, negative talk and the rumor mill about new love. Heartbroken and dead tired, dead silence in calm before the new love storm. No kneeling, monkey, monk key hanging from the tree. The right elbow, the divine masculine's funny bone, his sense of humor. Some hairy genetics, no glass slippers because the glass ceiling is slippery and is too risky with storm warning. Better nights in white satin and never reaching the end. Letters are written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed in these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. 'Cause I love you, oh how I love you. Nature came up as 74 and Spirit's connecting with me. And underneath that was Love Partnership, which was number 26, the Page of Wands. 74 is 3, 4, 5, 6 of Pentacles. So nature is very balanced, and it helps you balance when you're out of balance. And then the Love Partnership is the 26 of the Page of Wands, very inspired, right? And may want to have some connection there. Destined Marriage of the Queen of Pentacles reversed and Hermit, getting wish of the Holy Grail, a new passion, third energy, ignited, debt owed, must make deposit, obla-dee, obla-da, life goes on, bra, la-la, how the life goes on. For the improper English patient, 3 down, 2 up, and 3 in waiting, laying in waiting, none can match the branding of the Holy Grail. Jupiter rising, and Hercules gets back at Jupiter as his father before him at 11:17, which is justice and the star. 1 wand, 1 cup, all that required in puppy love. Putting out for a 5-star chalet, heating up with internal fire at 11:19. Justice and the sun, the masculine energy. At 11:20, which is now justice and judgment, a very powerful energy there. Imbalance of debt, scam, or inequity of relationship or distribution with the higher self and the magician lovers, swoon. New love, naturally. Mental case, near death, chooses new path after poor judgment. The recent past was the sun exposing all, and the Page of Cups message of love, puppy love, exposing all. Dropping the facade and breaking patterns with Hierophant or Taurus and dysfunctional family or loss of money, legacy with the King of Cups reversed. Exposing trapped into a marriage in a shotgun wedding, literally, and the foundation here is the Knight of Wands, wounded warrior, ending the family and emotional cycle with no emotional fulfillment and coming clean about their powerlessness, losing power, money, and or status, or losing their single status. The central energy here is the 3 of Cups reversed. No joy with negative groups, detox, chaos, and rising above, waking up suddenly, blowing their crown, their top, or their cover, and all hell broke loose. The challenge being the 7 of Swords reversed, coming clean about downloads and risky behavior, sharing with Leo, Queen of Wands reversed, or settling out, taming the beast, and suffering in silence, stressed out, purging, presented with the truth to negative group or third party and the wounded warrior. The Hermit reversed is over isolating, and the 4 of Swords reversed is coming out and rising above, waking up the Queen of Cups, wounded warrior, suffering in silence, and healing and shining their light by sharing and boldly ascending above anger and holding back the new life while sharing and settling for taming the beast with the King of Wands. Now, crowning for the masculine is the King of Wands shaman, coming out with synchronicities of the past after the battle is over, with the Page of Cups message of love at present, where the worst is over, but still indebted. Implementing a plan to separate one step at a time, patient angel, breaking patterns and starting over in love, without romantic tie, holding back money and a new life, letting go to repair with the wounded warrior dream girl, and healing frustration of the Queen of Swords reversed, Dark Priestess, Aquarius, Leo, Cancer, or Pisces, or a date with a Cancer, Aquarius, or Dream Girl before the new life. The Emperor sharing with the Queen of Wands. I want to read that one more time, that last sentence. Breaking patterns and starting over in love without romantic tie. Holding back money in a new life. It's like the masculine wanting to have time to himself. Letting go to repair with wounded warrior, Dream Girl. And healing frustrated Queen of Swords reversed. Dark Priestess, Aquarius. So there could be a Queen of Swords reversed who's an Aquarius, but also could be have in their chart or be Leo, Cancer, or Pisces. So someone they need to work with could be a child or someone they work with, or a sister or a partner, or a date with a Cancer, Aquarius, or perhaps the Dream Girl has to do with the etheric realms as well before their new life starts. So the Emperor may be sharing with the Queen of Wands and settling out with the Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Wands, but that could also be, it could be a Leo King of Wands or the King of Wands and another Leo too. So we have 3 fire signs potentially here. Or Aquarius and Leo are kids, and soon for the masculine is the 9 of Cups, getting wish after a negative past, difficult kids, or the past returning with an opportunity or an invitation, a student or child. In a twist of fate, the Knight of Cups offers love, leaving behind the Queen of Wands reversed, an opportunity for soulmate to come together to end pain at work. He sees himself as the Hermit reversed at home, with the Queen of Cups meeting up, car and horse, or trip to the pyramids, or horse and buggy ride. Finances and career, separation, forgiving and learning, and around the Divine Masculine is the 3 of Wands reversed, the past of the sealed Divine Feminine, the completion of the cycle, and offering love as divorced person or possibly Libra, and that's at 1158, which is Justice and the 4 of Swords. And leading the way, back in the saddle, only at the attention of one, the sealed Divine Feminine, to go around the world with him, perhaps. The Divine Feminine on the journey, running into the 5 of Swords enemy, fighting for love, keeping to self in order to stay balanced. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the 9 of Orbs, the purges, and the King of Swords reversed, released, but still defenseless to energies and energetic attacks, or other people ganging up on him, and still working to align that. A new life coming and powerless to obsession. Even more so for the masculine this last night was domestic harmony, perseverance, and communication. The Page of Pentacles, learning their abilities. This is when they're really excited to learn their psychic abilities. And the Queen of Wands reversed, settling out with the King of Wands, and powerless to new beginning. The King of Wands shaman is curious to learn. The Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, not sure how to teach him. So this could be a Divine Masculine getting some lessons from their kids as far as connecting to the other side or meditation. Negative self-talk and frustration as the Tower came in and lightning strikes all across the sky in a light show. Starry nights, free at last to get wish, but dealing with difficult energies around him until the Knight of Swords rushes in with the truth again, with their epiphanies. The 6 of Swords, suddenly able to find peace with past memories or difficult kids, refusing to exchange feelings, or maybe some kids are not talking to you as a masculine. Recovering from exile, the Empress not expressing or exchanging. At nighttime, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, grieving, loss, and regret, or just feeling some guilt or shame, just depending on who she is, the Queen of Pentacles reversed. At work, coming together with the Emperor to manifest DNA. Recovering from exile at night, at work with tools, the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, not expressing and grieving loss of Emperor, and now manifesting without them. So that could be the loss of a parent, or literally a split between the Divine Masculine and the Karmic. So the Empress often has come up with the Queen of Pentacles, who also can have fire in her chart, as the mother and daughter type team. Okay, so that could be the masculine's partner or ex and the mother. At 12:12, the higher self. That's 2 hanged men. The higher self, wounded warrior, hermit reversed from the past, sunshine exposing third party, and challenged by risk of downloads and coming clean to get wish, suffering in silence, the King of Wands shaman is excited to learn his abilities, stormy seas ahead, and the past returning and holding back. The higher self exposing inequity and debt, the wounded warrior third party, King of Wands shaman, is challenged by coming out with downloads, and the hermit reversed coming out to be happy and get their wish, to look back and purge out and learn about their psychic abilities. Suddenly stormy weather as the past boils up to the surface from holding back feelings and energetic exchange of magician embodiment. Okay, and that was at 12:16, so we end on the tower again. The hangman and the tower coming in. So that was the read from last night. And then this was from today. Okay, it is 25, it was 25:52 when we switched. And 25 is the Knight of Wands, 52 is the Queen of Swords. So very much the energy around today. So again, today is the 15th of the Devil, and the day adding up to the 20, which is a 2, a High Priestess energy, but it is the Judgment. It's a High Priestess backed up by a lot of Source energy in the year of 2020. And the Devil, or the shadow side. So I only bring up my daughter again and dropping her off this morning because she took Spirit. So Spirit was coming up, and although she was her gate was in E, the actual airline was only at D. So E and D were coming up here. The D was more important in regards to Spirit. And also cutting out white pills just came up. Somebody might be cutting out their pills. And I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 7:15 to 16 this morning, which is again the Devil in the Tower. So big energies this morning still. And at 7:16 I heard geese flying. And when I cut the initial deck, I was getting straight forward. Then I was getting at 7:17. I was just catching up on notes. But then I started sweating at 7:25 to 26, which is that Knight of Wands again, and the Page of Wands. And after cutting the Tarot Sexual Magic and shuffling the Universal Golden Tarot. And then at 7:28, I was getting the Flower, the Aster. That was coming up. Of Chalices, actually. Aster of Chalices. And then at 7:32, which is the Chariot and the Six of Wands, the Journeyman, I was getting a downward spiral. So that's also coming up for someone. There's a lot of personal messages, like I said, in this read. So listen up. We have, the final read was done at 7:41 to 42. The Chariot and the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups. Really beautiful energy. We have the Ascension card, which is the World. Tower, which is the Tower. Hangman is it's the Hanging Man in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, but it's the Hangman. And then the Starseed, which is the Fool, the Star, and then after the read, the Strength card came up. So we have Pisces, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aries, Aquarius, and Leo all came up as the major players, right? We had 3 wands, 1 pentacle, 1 sword, and 1 cup. So mostly wands this morning. A lot of action, and there was a lot of action last night too. Oh. Hold on, my computer just shut off. That's just a commercial. Sorry about that. My computer shut off and went back up again, so it was just opening up a commercial. So let's see. So mostly wands, like I said, and last night was mostly wands too. There's a lot of physical, passionate energy going on. And then the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands, the King of Cups, and after the read, the Queen of Swords also came up in this read in front of you. We had, let's see, number-wise, there wasn't much in numbers, and there was no number associated with the code line today. But the number cards, it was all about leadership and the masculine leading the way. So the only main number that came up from the cards was 89, and 88 and 77 in a lesser sense, and then just the single digits 1 and 4. So we had 3111, which can be 31 and 11, which is that 5 of wands of expansion and conflict. It could be games as well, a competition. And then the 11 of justice, the 89, the 77 is the sovereign, 88 is the twins side by side dancing within their balanced masculine and feminine, which is the union. For me, 88 is equal to the infinity on that side. We have the 1 of the magician, the 4 of the emperor, the 14 of the temperance card, 78, which is the 10 of pentacles, the end of the deck. 47 is the 7 of cups, the synchronicities and heaven in their eyes. And number 9, which is the hermit, the collective consciousness, the wise one. So getting right into this read, all about leadership and the code line, specifically about the adept of crystals, which is the Knight of Pentacles, that loyal, humble servant. And you notice too, especially in the Rider-Waite deck, that the Knight of Pentacles is basically the reflection of the Death card, the Grim Reaper, because the Grim Reaper is in dark suit but white horse, whereas the the Knight of Pentacles is the opposite of that. He's on the dark horse in more, simple clothes, because he's the Knight of Pentacles. He's a simple guy. So regarding leadership in this read today, again, the bridge or the gateway came up, and I was also getting the gateway open in the cards today. And I definitely felt it coming in yesterday and today, because it was really kind of home free before that. And now we have the stressful energy back in again. So the bridge or gateway, and also then researchgateway.net was coming up. I got a lot of articles that come up from there when I go into my headers. So the foe, right? So the enemy, or the false, or the foie, which is also liver. So the liver was coming up, as well as AA. So alcoholism was definitely coming up regarding the liver. And detoxes were coming up, not only for alcohol, but other things here. We have alternating currents, air conditioning, as well as Atlantic City coming up, and a show of power, and with AA, which Alcoholics Anonymous, but also a AA battery perhaps, or an Ever Ready Bunny. But it's like Alcoholics Anonymous, and this could be American Airlines as well, a department of cry stall. All right, so because cry, we need to stop and cry. So coming together in that group is very healing, because it allows them to grieve where other people would tell them, to stop crying, right? This is a safe place. And also the masculine referred to as Han was also coming up again today, and the SS of the safety and security of the root chakra. So the bridge of the foe, which could be referenced as the enemy, in alternating currents as a show of power, the Knight of Pentacles, and also Han's sister was coming up. So a sister of the divine masculine, and regarding leadership here. The karmic feminine, who may see themselves as gods and may have a big head, or just maybe they are alternative as well, very connected with spirituality and being connected to the chakra system. But there's some false air conditioning here. So this could be an air sign, right? So their conditioning of their religion or how they were raised, and their show of power. And again, the AA and the Knight of Pentacles was coming up as the Shah, right? Which is referencing a leader, but in a very endearing kind of way. That the Shah is leadership, just like I was explaining in the Hindu ceremony, that the term of endearment is such a powerful thing at the same time. By humbling yourself, you create great power as well. And this is all through the Knight of Pentacles, and also the leadership of Sophia and Han. Okay, as the masculine and the feminine energies. So some things that just were coming up from online that I was guided to were Gateway. So some health sites, Gateway Digestive and Liver Specialists, the Patient Portal, and that was in St. Louis, Missouri. Actually, the address was 4510 Del Mar Boulevard, which cracks me up because that's Jessica Del Mar. And then Gastroenterology East at Gateway, the Oregon Clinic, Gateway Health, and Gateway Radiology in St. Petersburg, Florida. Also, what came up with the code line was settlement names, Asheron's Call Community, that was Wiki on fandom. Another one that came up was settlement portals. So settlements were coming up here. The AC Community, also Wikipedia. Major in Chemistry in Hanyang University. Department of Organic and Nanoengineering came up, as well as adept of, being good at. Spanish translation on Linguee, Linguee. And then another ResearchGate.net, several articles came up here. A new framework for understanding aggregate structure. Also band gap optimization design of photonic crystals material. And then Wikipedia from fandom also came up, and the role of foreign banks in emerging countries. And then the last one was Ruby and Sapphire from Jagdalek, Afghanistan. And going back to the code line then, the bridge, and then ResearchGateway.net regarding liver transplants or treatments, and as well nickel, a Knight of Pentacles, humble, loyal servant, or Shah, who is endearing, it being in leadership. So someone who's very in tune with not only the medical side of treating patients, but very in tune with the emotional and spiritual side of patients. But then the liver and nickel were coming up. How to detox nickel from the body healthfully, and metal toxicity. Health dangers of nickel was coming up. And it came up last night as well, so this was very important. And the detox that was coming up, and you can look some of this stuff up yourself, but nickel's in everything, you know, not only comes from fillings, but also pots and pans and silverware. And one thing I read really quickly was saying that, you know, everybody has some kind of overdose of nickel. So, and nickel can cause a lot of problems. So an easy way to detox nickel is through using cilantro, but you need chlorella as well to help it not only collect and pull the metals out, but then flush it through the body. So not just cilantro, but it's advised to use it with chlorella. So you can use that, look up that combination online if you're interested in that, and make sure if you have any issues that you might want to check with your doctor before you do any detoxes. But you can get nickel poisoning from cell phones and PDAs. And of course, you guys, I'm sure, know about jewelry over a long period of time. And if water is not filtered properly, you can get nickel in the water. And even when it is considered safe for consumption, there can be nickel in the water. And actually, the bird tapped on the window right there. Heavy metal poisoning at 8:19. 8 is strength and 19 is the sun. It can cause cancer, hormonal imbalances, skin issues, neurodisturbances, depression, food allergies, and much more. And that was from 7/27/17. And then aluminum also is coming up, causes Alzheimer's, liver and skin diseases, GI trouble, heartburn, and learning disorders, disabilities, as well as fatigue. And for aluminum, they were saying to use apple pectin, so just fresh apples you can eat, as well as from healthfully.com, half of a fresh lemon in warm water twice a day, which is used for the citric acid, and along with that apple pectin for aluminum detox. Also kelp supplement and turmeric helps for aluminum. And also they brought up a detox for bath or foot soak, you know, just using hot water and half Epsom salt and half sea salt. And to use stainless steel pots as opposed to aluminum. All right, so the cheap pots, you're going to get some of this poisoning in your food, and especially with the non-stick surfaces, which I'm guilty of too, using them when they're scratched, which you shouldn't, because if you burn the non-stick surface when there's no food in there, literally their poisons come up. And also there's aluminum in flours and baking powder. But again, nickel was the main one that was coming up, to mix cilantro and flaxseed oil in a blender and fully chopped. And they talked about a recipe, but then I didn't see it. But they was making like a pesto type, a spread that you could use to get your cilantro. Just saying to store it in a dark place to make sure the vitamins don't lose their value, and to take 2 teaspoons a day for about a month. But you can look up that kind of stuff if you're interested, but it was coming up as very important for us. And I'd said that before because algae came up last week or so, And I was saying it was coming up because it's going to be important in our future. And here, chlorella is algae. So as soon as I say something, you know, they give me that message about it being important, then another piece of information will come up around that. So algae and cilantro, which is so funny because we were just out eating Mexican yesterday, and my daughter was just saying how much she doesn't like cilantro, and she's the one who gets all these kind of issues. So that's probably what's going to help her. So again, nickel, batteries, baking powder, coins, cosmetics, cookware, dental, and let's see, hydrogenated fats and vegetable oils, imitation whipped cream, industrial plumbing, magnets, margarine and imitation butter, mercury fillings, tools, peanut butter, surgical implants, rooibos tea and red teas, shellfish, tobacco smoke, and vegetable shortening, and water, again, that's not filtered well. All this stuff has nickel, as well as kitchen utensils, zippers, and metal buttons. They tell you if you are sensitive to it to not have metal zippers and buttons. Other detoxes that help with that is vitamin C, DMSA, DMPS, cilantro, CitraCleanse, grapefruit pectin, garlic, and cytodetox zeolite. And you can do a urine toxic. There's a urine toxic and essentials elements test. You can also do these on hair, but I don't know if they have a home test for that, but you can check that out online. And just make sure you know if things are safe for you, depending on whether you have issues or not. But again, we're talking about chelation of heavy metals from your body. And also, for those of you who are not aware, that whatchamacallit is cilantro is also coriander is the spice form, so you can take that as well with the chlorella. And they also have pascalite if you don't deal with chlorella well, and this also wards off UTIs and gas and bloating. Using this cilantro combination. And it's important for your calcium and magnesium to be good levels before you do any of these detoxes. So you want to make sure that you're taking a multivitamin every day. And this could ward off some UTIs or gas or bloating if you have it. And again, that was the cilantro. And they were suggesting a 1/4 cup of cilantro packed, tight, and then 1 to 2 teaspoons of pascalite with water ×3 between meals. And it said that cilantro and the chlorella, 87% lead-free, 91% mercury after using this, and 74% of aluminum would be cleared after 42 days of using that combination. But they said to make sure magnesium is high before you start. All right, so that's enough of the detox stuff. So back to the read. So starting again from the code line, the Research Gateway, and if you want to look up Research Gateway as far as their nickel detox articles, you can do that as well. Chlorella, cilantro, lemon, half a lemon was important, and grapefruit pectin as well for the different things, depending on whether it was aluminum or nickel, that kind of thing. But for the read today, all 4 aces were upright, which was nice to see. So bridging the livers. Bridging livers, right? Because liver and kidneys are all affected by these toxins of heavy metals. Alternating currents of nickel and alcohol. Remember, AA was coming up in the department of crystals. So in using different kind of crystal combinations and algae, cilantro, chlorella, coriander, whatever you need, okay? So just reminding us of that, because that's something I did get tested for many years ago, because I was having issues with little, immunology things like clotting my little vessels off in my fingertips and toes, which they still never diagnosed it exactly, but at least I don't have them anymore because we diagnosed it with, it was a lack of vitamin D. So it was D3 and B3 that I was taking after that, which after taking 4 to 5,000 a day of D, I finally got my levels back up. But I'd probably been deficient in D for many, many years before this started happening. And most people are vitamin D deficient these days because they're indoors all the time. So you might want to have your D checked if you have any weird issues, because they all work together. You know, the D with your magnesium and calcium, all of that works together. So if you're deficient in one thing, it throws the whole system off balance. Just like the bones, you don't think of the bones as an organ, right? You think of your other organs. But if your bones are off, it affects all the rest of your organs. So it's important to know these things. So starting this read right after my daughter landed, she called to tell me she landed at 9:33, and she said it was a very rough ride, very turbulent. So we have the Eight of Wands, upright, starting out this read in the underlying energy at 9:41, which is the Hermit and the Ace of Cups. Here's the Eight of Wands. And below that is the Eight of Cups reversed, and then the Four of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Cups upright. And the Four of Pentacles in this deck is that Four of Crystals, the Divine Masculine's heart, the Bat Cave. So expressing feelings, in energy exchange, fast-paced traveler communication, right after my daughter had just called, the arrows of love after difficult feelings, which my daughter just said she, felt like throwing up the whole plane ride. Holding on loosely, grounding, saving, and trying to stabilize. The Knight of Pentacles with practical offers to help the King of Pentacles and High Priestess, or secret and psychic abilities, while the Knight of Swords rushes in with a message of truth. The King of Pentacles to offer practical help, and the High Priestess with the message of truth. Alternating current of those two energies, it's like the masculine and feminine coming together with their different talents. And air conditioning for those who are air signs, who are conditioned in a certain way or more logical, for grounded and etheric teamwork. The earth sign is on the ground, and Pisces or High Priestess is coming up in the air. Lovers break up here, destined, coming clean. The Dark Knight, this is where the Dark Knight came up, reflecting the Knight of Pentacles, and getting clean in the death walk, the transformation portal, rebirth, news or message, and spreading the word, or a child who talks, reaping rewards of constant gardening and offering a new life. Practical advice, or the quote-unquote gold coin. Pisces, Gemini, Libra, and Scorpio here. The Dark Knight, which, by the way, the Death card is 13, which is a 4, and the Knight of Pentacles is also a 4. It's 67 in the numerology book that I go by, but it's also a 4. So that, again, resonates with them reflecting each other. And then it gave me that cycle of 4s. 4, 13, 22, 31, 40, 49, 58, 67, and 76. The Emperor, Death, which is the Grim Reaper. The Fool takes the leap of faith. The Five of Wands, the expansion energy. The Page of Cups, the pure, innocent love. The Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card. The Four of Swords, the 5D, right, connecting in the 5D, and then the Awakening. And then the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant, along with the Eight of Pentacles. Co-creation together in creative work, hands-on work. And then 85 came up, which there's no card for, but it's the reflection of the 58, which is resting, asleep. And then 85 would be about the 3D awakening, right? Because 58 is the 5D connection, then 85 is the awakening into the 3D. So at 10:05 is the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant, or the 5 of freedom, expansion, change. Something just right at that moment at 10:05, I swear I heard one of the pole boxes blow out there, and then the lights blinked. It was really loud. It sounded like it was on my house, just a couple houses down. So that was a symbol of something for you guys. A baseball game, getting ready to hit a home run. Batter up, and pitcher is focused, showing his hand, the ball, the gold coin, a big one. News of hitting the jackpot, gardening, algae and cilantro, or sold business for a pretty penny, not nickel. turned nickel into gold, and picked one gold coin especially for you. He's about to pitch. Well, will you swing? First base, second base, third, or all the way home? This little piggy ran all the way home to the country house or ranch. And it's funny talking about all the way home because I just driven all the way home from the airport with pressure in my face from my twin, pressure in my chest from my daughter, and then getting all the way home, and I live in a ranch. So that was kind of funny there. So, or somebody's making cookie batter. So there's some ideas of things that twins may be doing together. Or someone's making cookie batter all rolled into one, worth its weight in gold, but not heavy metals, which are toxic. Practicing pitches at the batting cage to make sure it goes just so right, the masculine energy, gentle, manly type. There's more where that came from, he says. Crystal caves in Horseshoe Bay and Omega. Low ball first, second is better, but third better be good because 3 strikes, you're out. At 10:17 is the Wheel of Fortune and the Star. Getting attention, shining their light. At 10:18 is the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon, the moodiness and the swoon, the subconscious. And back to square one, cell block 8. The Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles offering his hand for yours. The sun is out, sunshine exposing any facade. The morning after and no makeup, the walk of shame. Tripped up, breaking patterns, exposing whistleblower, the Hierophant or Taurus, religion, establishment, tradition or marriage, or commitment to self, and letting go of the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or legacy that just didn't cut it. Striking out, again. No more facade, controlling family or controlling interest is gone, or religious leader sent you packing or fell from grace. No more taking of wealthy families' money, donations, or bribes, or their cover was blown. By the boys' club. Twin masculines at religious or spiritual conference, or Catholic university at cross purposes or cross keys, expecting the men or boys on team Y, right? The Y in the road, or the question, why? To compete for the prize. Or God humbling them, calling them on their shit. The cover blown or dropped the act, the sister act, bugs in the curtains and footprints all over the place. A big family or institution goes down. Definitely priests involved here, because there's no arousal. The Pope exposes cardinal sins, or calling big institutions for not taking responsibilities for their actions, or Agent 99 and Maxwell Smart. One guy taking the fall for the agency. Calling in your soulmate comes up for the masculine, and beneath that was flirt. Sad or bad memories after the fall, in a painful end, betrayal, in ending pain, ear, neck, and spine and hip, pain in the neck or butt, her candle burned out before her legend ever did. Norm, a gene variance, depression and funny bone, inflamed DNA of twins, the very end of the family tree branches, distant relation, and then I was getting chelation again. Right pitcher's arm or tennis elbow, devils in the details, detailing, detailing, right? So taking the tail down, right, from the apes. No longer having a tail, derailing, removing the tail, the long tail, the never-ending story, his story, history, derailing, her fence, or curtailing, and curs, negative spirits, like telling tales about bad spirits, or fairy tales. The fairy, fair, Y in the road, or fair wives' tales. Mercedes is the emblem of the Y, as well as martinis as the Y glass, as well as Patron, silver, gold rum, and red drum. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, the little drummer or Drummond boy, the dark night shadow and loyal humble servant, serving martinis and drivers of others' Mercedes. detoxing chaos or nickel into gold, alchemizing. Al's chemistry. Al, chelation of M, which is Mary Magdalene, is tri. Al's chemistry. Chelation of Mary Magdalene is tri. So the detoxing of the heavy metals is to say, I'll try, right? Because when we say I'll try, you never really want to do it. But trying goes down the wrong way. Unable to resist Peg's leg at 1054, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Swords, which can be a message. The one-eyed pirate's smile. Aye, matey. The tiny dancer on the stage. The actor's dance can only last so long. It's acting, not authentic, and triple X at times. Going on a treasure hunt. X marks spot. 3 lines down and the question mark again. So 3 times 111 is still 3 times 3 or 9. Marks X or questioning of mark. 6 of one, half dozen of the other, potato, potato, tomato, tomato, all in the manipulation of perspective. You see, or you, the letter C. Prom king and queen, green, returning to the scene of the accident. Who did the deed and who took the fall? Tic-tac-toe, eeny, meeny, miny, Larry, Curly, Moe, Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, and here we are, back to martinis. Didn't see that coming. And R was coming up for root and red drum again. And this was at 11:05. 11 is justice, 5 is the Hierophant. 3 blind, and then with back to martinis again, Martinez was coming up. 3 blind mice, see how they run. A beer run, a prison run, a mine run. Mice tunneling through, unable to see, right, because they're 3 blind mice, until some scientists found them and did some experiments on them. 1 became a beauty queen, and 1 an intellectual. The 3rd didn't work out so well. The experiment was in depression and darkness. Out of the mouths of babes, Babe Ruth, home runs, and here we are back at baseball again. A simple square turned on an angle. The diamond you see, it's all in their perspective. Then 6, 8, 10 came up with some other numbers and V after taking 2 X's out of the equation. The devil's reversed in the woods up Schitt's Creek and Coven in the forest waiting for Firestarter, marking his territory. So Mark has come up many times here. Can't you take a joke, he says? But Harry Devil missed the spot and ended up pissing on himself. Not so funny now, is it? Capricorn out of cornucopia as bluebirds share a meal or a drink on the tails of Bigfoot and Sasquatch, and King Kong's everywhere couldn't find his thing down there. A hairy situation, an aging female, all the physical attribute wounds, and mean girl and guys that were cool jerks. The apple of her father's eye didn't fall far enough from the tree. The devil's advocate, a monkey's uncle, and 2 apples in the Garden of Eden, polarized to apes and cave girls. Too many women and not enough good men. So we have personal growth here, number 7, and beneath that was moderation for the masculine, which is number 14, which is the temperance card, the chariot and temperance. Staying balanced. And then chelation comes up again. And chelation breaks down as CHEL and then ation. And ation has to do with lack and starvation because it's 8 and ion. So chelation, how to take the heavy metal out of the man. Well, the ation part is the state of starvation, hibernation, and moderation, which is this winter time, right? And then we have Kel, C-H-E-L. So one of the headers that came up for Kel is Kel's journey of claiming Tullio's love. And that was January 16th of 2008 on YouTube. 1X Kel, Chel, 16th century name of aged jaguar goddess of midwifery in and mediumship in ancient Mayan culture. Kel at Ion, chelation, connection at the Y in the road. Okay? And how to carry all she has with her just to have to get rid of it at the end of the road. Just like the chelation process, the body has to carry. That's why you need not just the one ingredient, but you need two. One to get it all out of the cells, and then the other one to help to get it out of the body. So this chelation is describing the process of not only getting the crap out of the body, but getting the crap out of your life, or just the journey with the divine masculine, and having carried all this crap with you the whole time, just to have to dump it at the end of the road when you come together now, because you're, it's not going to help you go forward. And that's at 1141, Justice and the Ace of Cups. And then the since Asian came up, also Cation and Anion came up as far as the positively and negatively charged ions, because the Cation one is the positively charged, which means it's in lack because it needs something, right? It's ready to go after something, whereas the Anion is satisfied, it's satiated, so it can just hang back and allow somebody else to come to them. Remember that the penis is hungry, and even though it says positively charged, it seems like that would be extra electrons, but it's not. It's lacking the electron. So the other one has the extra electron, which is satiated. They have plenty of electrons. It's not seeking out another electron. So as we turn the page at 1142, which is Justice and the Two of Cups, no journey, no truth with depression and deception, one fallen knight and one fallen war hero, depressed and deceptive, two sides of the same coin, Nero and Caligula. So that's N and C, Nero and Caligula, but NC is also North Carolina, no credit. And for me, it's Jesus Christ, because N for me is code Jesus. It's all the perspective. The dark magician is also the chef with the Holy Grail, sneaking in to make a toast at the chalet and then hightailing it out of there. Heading for the coast, perhaps the ballet. One last drink before coming clean or getting clean. Now you see me, now you don't. A man with a wish who knows how to make it happen. Has all the right magic, but watch out for your stuff, guys. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, kiss and chelation resort, sneaking out the back, Jack, or taking off with new plans stance, so somebody's taking off with somebody's stuff. He may have the gold cup, but I believe the story goes that the cup lined with gold is the one that's invaluable and priceless to have and to hold. A barrel of monk keys and chelation. Monk keys and chelation. The wise old bird and the Latin lover starved for connection. Watch out for car salesmen, someone gets taken for a ride, or out for breakfast at 12:04, which is the Hangman and the Emperor. Coming clean by expressing a lot of feelings and exchanging energy. Chelation, dialysis, ziplining, arrows of love. Offering new love, the gold coin, crystal caves to help dysfunctional family or business who lost a lot or everything that was destined to happen for their personal growth. Recently is the wounded warrior reversed, the surrender or the giving up, the disconnect of partners, not seeing eye to eye or face to face, took a swing and missed, inspired by news or message of another child that likes to talk, or another child that likes to talk, to come clean about financially draining dependent, or powerlessness, or kids tattletaling on their sibling or a friend, or that powerlessness when offered love by Libra, judge, justice of the peace, or divorced person. It's imperfect, so what? Or after kids came clean about what they did or said, so you wouldn't offer love or take sovereign's single status. So he wouldn't offer love to that money grubbing hoe, the way some of the kids may see their perspective of the other twin. The foundation here is the Tower with the power, electricity issues around, destined to jealousy when sharing with more than one. Being strong, taming the beast, detoxing chaos, and finally waking up to smell the coffee and settle out. The Divine Masculine strong in destiny of chaos and jealousy and rejection, rising above and coming out in awakening to share with others his story, history, his historian. And then the sudden events or epiphanies at 12:23, the Hangman and the King of Wands, the man of passion. Slings and arrows of love heading his way. At 12:23, we have Pisces upright, Scorpio upright, Libra upright, Gemini reversed, Leo upright, Taurus upright, Capricorn reversed, Virgo upright, Cancer reversed, and Aquarius reversed, all here, and right at this point in the read. The central energy is Ascension, reversed. The world reversed, choosing a new path without conflict, fighting, or competition, choosing justice or divorce. The challenge being the Knight of Pentacles proposal, with their world incomplete, the Knight of Wands rushing in passionately out of the rain, or separation and heartbreak into patience and understanding, taking one step at a time. Synchronicities and heaven in her eyes, and feeling vulnerable about rejection after tripped up and belly was exposed, or belly up. Patient angel seen by King of Wands reversed, or King of Wands reversed is a Sagittarius. Dropping the facade and breaking patterns, rushing in or getting busy or active, sharing or settling out. The Knight of Wands and Mini Knight of Wands, Batman and Robin, the Chariot, sharing on the road, being patient and strong, taming the beast, standing up or stand-up comedian, powerless to his charms, coming together with judge or justice, Libra, or divorce attorney, and standing up for self, losing time, money, and energy status, and now crowning is the Hanging Man. Hanging out with right knee issues, working to align on projects or details, and or refills was coming up. Hung out to dry in exile, abandoned, out in the cold weather, left behind, standing up for self, as I started to lose my voice. Standing up for self, but more so finding peace in coming clean. The King of Swords reversed was someone, it's like people are saying the King of Swords reversed has someone watching over him, or family lawyer is helping him out, or family has a cutthroat lawyer that's not serving him, or family liar in ending an emotional cycle, or professional that's not trustworthy, a shark, a snake, or a salesman. Death, end, change, and transformation, or death of a salesman, no more, rained out, washed up, heartbroken, and or separated from Leo or ego, or women with big hands and feet who tackles the boar. Sudden event or epiphany turns their world upside down, with sealed divine feminine in another world where she offers her truth about hard labor, burdens, and too much responsibilities, working for the man. This is her saying this about the masculine. And the King of Wands reversed, dead tired, or in ego death. Double dealing or double billing, or twins running, giving you a run for your money, or settling out with double talking Leo or Sagittarius, or both. Caught in the act or confessing after the fact, in news or message of Leo spreading the word, leaning on the truth, but not the whole truth, of justice, divorce, Libra, or fairy with 2 spoons of fruit. Finding peace hanging out at home with the Queen of Cups. Strong on 2 levels or timelines, Sagittarius and Leos, and double mint gum. Both are fresh. Leo without responsibilities, messages Libra, lacking faith, losing power, money, and or status, or the girl, or his sovereignty. At 12:56, the Hangman and the 2 of Swords, being in his knowing, or pretending not to know. The female Libra with water falls powerless, and that could be waterfalls as well that are powerless. They're powerless to his charms, coming together with male Libra, both with scales, weights, and measures, hoping it will tip in their favor. Soon for the masculine is the Starseed reversed, a fool for the dream, holding hostage and imprisoning self, and standing up for both of them. 2 mints, 2 mints, 2 mints in one. surrendering patiently, or too patient angel, slowing to tame the beast, or being strong in taming the beast, giving up sitting in negative emotions or uncomfortable emotions or environment, with the Queen of Wands reversed, barking orders, judgment, or a call to action, a wake-up call from the drill sergeant, or getting kids up for school. 2 out in the cold, injured or just cold, and he is seeing himself as the Page of Swords. The message returning from the past memories or issues with siblings, or the past memories with twin, difficult children, or childhood and siblings, and the King of Cups, a loving man now, but was he in the past? So the King of Cups, a loving man with a message, or the King of Cups could be a father energy who used to be abusive with alcohol issues, suffering in silence, stressed and purging, feeling a failure under the radar, post-war PTSD, ending pain and betrayal, or dead to the world, unable to move or function. New love comes up here in finances and career, chemistry, give your relationship a chance, and wedding, that the situation involves marriage. Around the Divine Masculine, or how he is seen, is the Page of Wands inspired, unsatisfied with group or parties, or hanging out socializing, or left out and grieving loss and regret. The workplace with the Emperor and the Magician, the Emperor happy but workers are not, and he feels guilty for making it happen. Or arrogant group, never satisfied and making him feel guilty or shame. What is the Emperor without the Magician or tools? Feeling bad for taking the thorn out of the lion's paw, because now celebrating the Emperor but not the Magician. The masculine needs to clear blocks of star status, a dream come true, or just healing, or an Aquarius with all the light, or maybe hogging all the spotlight. After expressing feelings and exchanging energy, arrows of love, 2 are out in the cold, Aquarius and Cancer. Leadership comes up for the masculine, but even more so, nature and follow your dreams, and karmic completion. And it was just 112. Fantasy lover. Fantasy lover and their synchronicities will not wait much longer if the turtle is too slow and taking forever. She got plenty of options, and tired of being an afterthought of a man with at least 2 women. Dumping 2 or 2 dumping him, or they are kids. No affection and breakup, or King of Cups who offered very little too late. Now offering something bigger so she can be powerless to come together. After the Queen of Cups, Libra, fell for the King of Cups, and the King of Cups is hoping it's not too late for a new life or practical offer with loving intent. Or asks her to try just one more time, it will be worth it, or is offering a settlement to the Queen of Wands reversed, take it or lose it, or it's a call to jury duty. And the Queen of Wands reversed is annoyed. And she can have Aquarius and or Aries in her chart as well. And that was at 122, the Magician and the Fool. At 123, 1, 2, 3 jump, is the Magician and the King of Wands. But the King of Cups with tiger's eye on prize, holding on loosely, grounding, saving. The Empress reversed, waiting to be offered a new passion, a project, or growth. The King of Cups could be a water sign, but also could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Libra, Taurus, or Gemini. Grounding and integrating an offer of love that grows each time the love and gold coin get bigger. The King of Cups, or Leo, stabilizing the Empress reversed, sick, old, miscarried, or infuriated by offer of sex or more growth, or told to just try it again. The 7 of Pentacles, E-Tower, reaping rewards, taking stairway to heaven, following their synchronicities and guidance. 2, or as the Queen of Swords, the Woman of Light, high in the tower, not settling for any half-assed offers. No reason she shouldn't have the best. She'd rather be on her own than settle just because. The Queen of Swords is reaping rewards with the Hermit with light, the constant gardening together to bring more light. Clearly, the Queen of Pentacles reversed broke up with Hermit, or there's no affection between them. The Dark Knight walked right over her with an opportunity to ascend, to take the Chariot together, perhaps a horse and buggy ride. but not if he's having sex with anyone else. The Queen of Swords is clear about Dark Knight's ride, or a free ride if it's an ex, the Hermit without affection with opportunity for him. Or the Queen of Swords lawyer is collecting information on the Queen of Pentacles reversed, Scorpio and or Cancer, harvesting for Hermit, the Divine Masculine, old man or wise professional or Virgo without affection or just broke up from their relationship. The Divine Masculine learning personal growth from having to humble himself after falling from grace or lacking faith. The expression of feelings and exchange of energies, suddenly an epiphany event or sudden message of inspiration, surrendering to another world and challenged by an offer or proposal, falling short or falling for the star, the dream, the healer, and hanging out in unconditional love. The Empress, not the Empress, but expressing feelings and exchanging energy in surrender and coming clean. The Tower comes in, turning world upside down, challenged by proposal and hanging in limbo, with joint pain or anger issues, or hung out to dry with message or news of falling for King of Cups or falling in love. Inspired, or the Page of Wands with dream come true, healing, shining light with King of Pentacles or unconditional love. Strong Tiger's Eye, or Eye of the Storm, at the E-Tower, the Divine Feminine's heart, having to climb the steps, the walk of shame, the death walk, hoping the Queen of Swords will actually let him in. And that was at 151, which is the Magician and the King of Swords coming to the door. So that was your read today. I am going to pull just a couple oracles since we're already at 116. Maybe I'll just pull one. I didn't do Nature's Whispers yesterday, so maybe I'll pull a card from there for you guys and show you the cards. All right, so for everybody watching and the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Take a deep breath. And let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful, divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we need a message for everybody to wrap this up. I know it was a lot of information, but what is the message we need to get from this read? What is the main thing? So we have the world, the incomplete world, needing to complete the cycle, the world upside down, and the challenge being the proposal, humbling oneself, offering services. And we have two cards. All right, the bottom of the deck is heighten your vitality, 49. So get your strength back. 49 is get your wish card, the Nine of Cups. Be happy with yourself and pamper yourself. You hold the world in your hand. This is kind of like an alternative version of the vortex, right? Because we have all these energies of people and things spinning around this energy of light. It's like the rainbow bridge that's going all around in a circle. That was opposed to just from one side to the other. Clearing the whole world, not just yourself or just one area. And that's 49. Okay, so heighten your vitality. You know, bring lots of light into your energy. Clear your energy. Pamper yourself. Rest. Drink lots of water. And then here we have keep your dreams alive. 25. The Knight of Wands again. Right? Passionately riding in. Keep your dreams alive. Right? Heighten your vitality. And here again we have the pink, the baby pink and baby blue. For the feminine, heighten your vitality, feminines. And for the masculines, keep your dreams alive. 25. She's getting her wish and he's rushing in passionately. The other card that came up, this read is very complicated. It incorporates everything, right? Because we have the universe down here, we have the earth erupting here, we got birds in flight and And we have eclipses and moons and fish and sea and swirls appear, right, of vortexes. All right, so it's kind of like a, you know, so much going on at once. It's that explosion and implosion all at the same time. There's flowers in here too and all sorts of things. Keep your dreams alive. They're all possible, but not if you're stressed out with low energy. So the second card that came up is empowerment, which is 45. 45 is that 5 of cups, which has to do with grief and allowing the grief and tears to flow. And it's about letting go of the past and knowing it's all okay in the present moment. Empowering yourself. See, she's not worried. She's just hanging out, right? Maybe in the ocean water or at home on a couch or on the lawn. That everything's okay in every moment. And she's very sure of that. And there's rainbow roads flowing all over the place. These are both two very complicated cards, right? We have here's the stormy seas, right, with the boat coming in, of the masculines having battled these stormy seas, coming toward the feminine. And here's that eclipse that just happened with the sun and the moon. And then here's all the rainbow streams and roads, the rainbow bridges. There's more rainbow bridges here, all coming to the same vortex. Here's the butterflies, and there's more coral and sea life below. Sea life below, under the sea, where there's very deep emotions. So you might want to pull up some more very deep emotions in meditation. It's all coming into the vortex. It's that explosion and implosion all at the same time, the present moment. And this one's pink too. So there's 2 pinks to 1 blue. This is more peachy though. Like, right? It's a variation of the pink, right? Because this is baby girl pink. This is a little bit peach, which is really funny because when I took my daughter shopping yesterday and I needed an umbrella because all my umbrellas, they always break. And there was a pink one, but there was also a peach one. And I picked the peach one. So peach is an important color coming up here, right? We're adding a little bit of... instead of just red and white, you know, we're bringing some orange into it. So there's some more yellow into this energy, which has to do with the solar plexus. So adding just a touch of yellow to the pink, to the red and white. That's lots of white though, because they're very light colors. Red, white, and yellow. Because it's red, white, and yellow, because it's not red, white, and blue, because you don't need to be blue. You got this. All right. Just a quick one from my Kipper deck, and then I'm going to go. I got to show you the cards still, too. I'm losing my energy fast without sleep last night. Hope you guys are all doing well. And don't worry if you want to cry, let it out. It's all good. We got the wealthy man coming up here. And it's a little girl. And distant horizons. So some of you may be dealing with college education for your kids. And here's a gift. And this could also be the gift of the grown masculine to the inner child of the feminine. Okay, and the gift is, after that is the courthouse. And here's a house as well. Okay, so that can be many different stories there, but take what fits for you. And the underlying energy is the mature man, so the man growing up. All right, there's sudden wealth here for this mature man. Behind that was the community and the main female. Okay, the main female with the empty house, okay? So this is the divine feminine with expectation. And behind that is the man thinking of the woman. So first this, and then the woman thinking back. In the empty room is the main female who brings together the community and pulls the masculine in to reap those 777 jackpot rewards in maturing, because the one card has to do with personal growth today. That's the underlying energy, and these are the underlying cards. So that was a good message. Okay, let me just show you the cards. So the underlying energy is that 8 of Wands. Recent past is the 9 of Wands, or the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Flames. foundation is the Tower, you see there. And there's the other cards. The central card, the Ascension, was reversed. The Adept of Crystals, which is the Knight of Pentacles, was upright. The Humble Servant. The other underlying energies and the Hangman there. We're scrolling across the bridge to the Starseed, which was reversed today. The Masculine seeing himself as the Seeker of Orbs, the Page of Swords, and around him is the Seeker of Flames, or the Page of Wands. That's that masked boy. And his blocks have to do with being the star today, because that is upright. And healing, the healer. And then ending up here at the King of Cups upright. Above that's the Strength upright. Above that is the Seven of Pentacles, or the E-Tower, the Divine Feminine's heart. So we had both the masculine and feminine's heart in this read. That's upright. The Seven of Cups is upright. And then the Queen of Swords is upright. And then we end up on the Chariot at the top. Okay? And then look at the colors that came out for the numerology cards. So we have above the head, we have the throat chakra, and between the heart and the throat, and also leadership is sacral chakra colors. And we have above the head there as well. So there's a lot of varied chakras involved there. But that could be because Peach was coming up as well. So let me know if Peach resonates with you guys for some specific reason. I'd love to know. And so, you know, the routine, drink your water. But make sure you do it. Don't just say, oh, Evelyn, you tell me that every day. Drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, and get your nature, and be very good to yourselves. And don't worry. The energies are tough right now. You can do it. Rise and be loved, guys. I'll see ya.